You have reached review time with Imperial, and today's review is The Fall Guy. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, let's get into it. So this is loosely based off of the 1980s TV series The Fall Guy. And it didn't dawn on me at first when the name, but then the name kept playing in my head, like, where is that familiar? It's something like that. And then sure enough, there was an 80s sitcom series. Not sitcom, it was an 80s series that was loosely based on a stuntman that was also a bounty hunter. So let's go over the cast. A lot of people in the movie, but it's not a real significant cast. So you got Ryan Gosling as Colt Seavers, Emily Blunt as Jody Marino, Hannah Waddingham as Gail Mayer, Aaron Taylor Johnson as Tom Ryder, Winston Duke as Dan Tucker. That's pretty much the main cast. And so let's get into the story. So it starts off, you got Colt Seavers, like he's a Hollywood stunt performer, and he works as a stunt double to the star actor Tom Ryder. And he messes with the camera woman, Jody Marino, and they're on set, and they're going over the stunt and everything like that. Shows the main star, and he's going up while he's talking to Jody on a walkie-talkie. He's ready to do his stunt, and they're kicking it. He's talking about what they want to do, later on in life, or going on vacation or whatever. When he goes and do this stunt is where he's just falling backwards, and the camera scene and somebody falling off a cliff and they got their hands moving. So that's his scene, but then you hear a big scream at the end where something went wrong on a stunt, and all the scene, the flash, shows him going off in an ambulance, and he put his thumbs up, but he's carted off, So what happened was he injured his back in that fall, and it caused him to not do the stunts anymore. He just went into a dark place in a shell, and he got rid of his number and everything. He cut everybody off. So some time went by, roughly 18 months went by, and he got a phone call from his agent, Gail, and she pretty much told him that, hey, Jody, who you used to mess with, she's directing her own movie, and she asked for you personally to come and do this movie. Of course, at first, he blew her off like, I'm done with that life. However, he's currently a valet guy, parking cars and stuff. So one of the people who was taking their car back, kind of like made him look little. Hey man, don't get no scratch on my car. So at that moment, that was his decision. I'm getting back in the game. So he took the guy's car for a spin and just rolled it all crazy. Did donuts in the parking lot, and of course that would get him fired. But he didn't care. He was on his way. So when he got to the set, he had to get back in the groove. Jody was off directing. She didn't see him. He was anticipating seeing her, thinking she was the one who called him here. He meets Dan. Dan is like the head of stuntmen or whatever. And so he knows about him coming and pretty much tells him like, hey, this is her debut. She needs this movie. I think the movie's called Metal Storm. She needs this movie to go off without a hitch. So she needs you. So he gets to do the stunt, and then she sees him, and she's like, what is he doing here? So he's caught off guard, because he's like, well, you asked me to be here. Come to find out, Gail set it up. She didn't really ask for him. She said anybody but him, but Dan stepped in and said, we don't have anybody that could do this role but him. So they went on, and instantly, 18 months has passed, so she's still torn that he just left her like that. And cut her out of his life. And so he pretty much was like telling her he apologized, he had regret, and you know, she pretty much said she moved on. So while she was doing her directing, she went on the intercom. She wanted to put him on blast in front of everybody, and he pretty much he had to take that. And you know, he really didn't have much excuse, but he had to find himself pretty much in a sense. And you know, but she was hurt, but she still loved him. Like she still had feelings for him, so you could tell that. But of course, she not just gonna go into him with open arms. She was standoffish, so they had to continue their work. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Gail reaches out to Colt, and Colt tells him, "Hey, we need to finish this movie. Tom Ryder is missing. You the stunt guy. Go in there and, you know, look for him and find him. Because if you don't find him, we can't finish this movie. And Jodie's gonna, you know, it's gonna be a disaster. You know, this is her debut. So this gotta go off without a hitch." So he goes on a mission to find Tom. In the process of that, he gets in a club somewhere. Somebody slips him a Mickey, but it's hallucinant. But he's still focused enough. Guys try to fight him. He beat the guys up, and then the main guy who he was trying to talk to pretty much confessed and told him some things, and then he let him go on. Meanwhile, he went into this looking for Tom in this hotel. He seen a dead body of another stuntman that used to do stunts for Tom. So that's where when he went back on the set, it showed him how things has changed with the technology, how they could take your face and put it on somebody else's and everything like that. So you see something going into play. So while all this is going on, Colt is still looking for Tom, and Jodie is pretty much she still got love for him, so she's inviting him out and told him, you know, come do some karaoke with her. He told her he'd show up, but he's ended up somewhere else way where looking for Tom and getting in a bunch of fighting and stuff like that. So that's going on. Meanwhile, she thinking he stood her up. So when he finally arrives, Dan is there, but while Dan is there, she leaves. So Dan and Colt, they're now Dan know about Tom's situation, so they end up getting into this like safe thing and finding this footage of Tom and the other stunt guy Henry. Meanwhile, what took place is on the news is saying that Colt was responsible for the stuntman Henry's death. So somebody framed him at this point. So at this point now, some goons come in, fighting Dan, fighting Colt, and Dan end up getting away, but they capture Colt. So at this time, he finds out the true story that Tom is still alive. Tom framed him, and Gail was in on it, because Gail is really Tom's agent. She set it up so they could frame Colt on everything, and then so Tom could get off free. So Colt was able to distract him, fight his way out, jumped on a boat, flew off in a boat. The boat ended up blowing up. So the news thought that he killed himself in a suicide. He really lived. Meanwhile, they told Jodie that, hey, Colt died. So she's all hurt. Now, in the process while he was riding away on the boat, he did get to call Jodie, said some things that's going to come out. Pretty much, I didn't do nothing, don't believe it. They trying to frame me, and she said, I believe you. And then they told her he died right after that. So, last scene, of the movie, meaning Colt shows back up on the set. He has a costume on. Jodie doesn't know it's him. She think it's like a goon, so she's fighting and beating him up. Find out that it's Colt. She thought he was dead. He told her not, but he said, we gotta reverse this, and said that Gail is in on it, and we gotta get Tom to confess, because now Tom is back on the set to finish the movie. So then they do this last stunt where Colt jumped in the car, took the car, and then he revealed himself to Tom pretty much, you know, still alive. And so Tom was like, get me out of here. He said, or what? You know, you gonna kill me? So this whole sequence is a good action sequence. The goons is fighting all the stuntmen with Dan is fighting the goons, and it's a bunch of stunts and just real Hollywood stunts going on. And the end result, you had Gail and Tom off in a helicopter, and Colt does a stunt, jumps on the helicopter, and they had the disc that had the information on it. And pretty much Tom didn't already, on the microphone, he already revealed everything he did. So Dan pulled up the big parachute balloon for safe landing for stuntmen, and Colt stuck his middle finger up and jumped out of the plane backwards. He landed, of course, on a parachute balloon, and then it shows Gail and Tom go and crash in the helicopter. So, of course, at that moment, Colt is his name. He's exonerated. His name is back in good graces. He gets the girl Jody. She gets to finish her film, and they put the lead actor, Jason Momoa, playing as the Metal Storm lead actor, and that's pretty much the movie. And so, in the mid credits, it shows Gail and Tom staggering out of the helicopter, and then they confronted by the police. They attempt to bribe the police, and then they discover it's the crew members on the prop department. And so then what happens is Tom panics. He tried to call an agent. He wandered off and get a signal on his phone, and he wandered off in like the rig pyroglyphics, and he caused himself to blow up. So Tom ended up getting blown up at the end. So overall, it's a decent film. Is it movie theater worthy? Yes, I can say it's movie theater worthy. If you know, it's the kickoff of, you know, spring going into summer of those type movies. Energetic, action with storyline, fun movie. So I give, you know, definitely I can see you going to a movie. If you wait till it get on the streaming platform, that's cool too. But you know, if it won't hurt if you went to the movies as well. Out of my 4-star rating system, I give this movie. It was decent. It was decent. So I give it a 3 out of 4 stars. Yeah, it was a decent movie. I enjoyed watching it. 3 out of 4 stars. I can see somebody going as low as 2.5 maybe. Other than that, 3 out of 4 stars. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.